Hello everyone! So today I'm going to review my 2012 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles action figures. So there's the entire gang right in front of you. Right? So I'm going to review these bad boys in a bit. So these guys were made by Playmates back in 2012, if I remember right. And when I saw them being released on that, when I saw them coming out in that year, I was pretty excited. So I got them little by little. I waited for some sales. I was able to get them from the from local malls, and some of them were on sale at the time. So basically they're all repaints and retools of each other. So for articulation, I'm just going to show you one. So this is Leonardo. So if you guys are wondering what the articulation is, his head can tilt, go up and down, or even a ball socket. His arm can go all around, can spread out that far, turns all around. It's got double jointed elbows, as you can see. Nice double jointed elbows. These are not removable, by the way, but yeah, they're just there. But yeah, they seem pretty stiff in there. They're not removable, but he's got double jointed elbows. You could turn his wrist all around. He's got articulate fingers. This thumb can swivel around and bend. These things just close. They can sort of twist too, these two, as you can see. So, you know, you could get him to hold his weapons. So the two fingers can swivel around. Aside from close, open and close, they can swivel, but they swivel together. Same with the thumb. He's got some waist articulation, so you could turn him around by the waist. A little bit impeded by his shell, of course, but you could get him to turn around enough and tilt. Going over to his lower body, his legs can go about this far out. These are on a swivel. You could swivel around his thighs. You can kick out this much, kick out that much, impeded by his butt, but that's good enough. Double jointed knee. You could ankles go up and down, toes, individual jointing, but you know, you could move them. So that's basically his articulation. It's enough to get him into some pretty decent poses. So they come with a little sewer stand, which I'll show you later, but they're pretty posable enough to get them to do some nice ninja moves. So you could do that. So yeah, Leo could even more or less stand on his own. So yeah, they're pretty posable. This is Leo's expression. It's a little bit different from those 80s ones. I remember Leo's teeth showing on the other side, but they kind of changed up all of their expressions. But this is Leo close up. Looks pretty good. Classics Ninja Turtle. Short bandana. He's got little sheaths for his sword over here. So he comes with two of his katana. They fit in right nicely. This is removable. You could detach it, but it's kind of molded into his belt, so you can't totally remove it. But yeah, it attaches here. As you can see, there's some holes and some pegs on the strap. So each turtle has the same body, but it's got a different sash somewhat, and weapon storage, and differences in the shade of green and in their faces. So the next guy I'm going to show you for a close-up is Raph. Raph's got both his teeth showing. I remember though in the classic one, Raph's shade of green was sort of lighter. It's kind of like this cloth. It's kind of like a lighter green. And you can see some of his teeth in the front. But this Raph, not that bad. His shade of green is a little bit darker. He comes with two sai. The sai fit here on his belt. As you can see, he's got R for Raphael. So he's got a simpler belt than Leo. Kind of like in the 80s version where Raphael would have the straps going along his chest. It's just this little belt going all around where he could keep his sai. And they fit pretty well. Next, we got Michelangelo's. Now, Michelangelo, what I like about him is his accessories. So yeah, by the way, let's show you their accessories. Leo's katana, which is not very long. As you can see, looks pretty simple. Looks like he fashioned this himself, so it has a very simple look to it. Let's put that here. Raphael's sai. Not bad. Looks pretty good. The paint in the hilt tends to chip off, so I repainted mine, but yeah. That's how his sai looks up close. And one of the best weapons, personally for me, is Michelangelo's nunchucks. Because as you can see, they have their own real chain link. Mine, though, got a bit rusty over time. Because these guys are about almost like 9 years old. Or 10 years old. So yeah, so they're pretty old, but pretty good. I really like Michelangelo's nunchucks. They got little chains. You can really spin them around. So that's pretty awesome. He's got a pair. Now Michelangelo's got a simple belt too. Michelangelo's got he kind of looks most like the 80s in terms of he's got this dark green, because I guess he's a surfer, so he's supposed to be like tan, but yeah, he's got the dark green orange little he's got the orange on him. His facial expressions, he's sort of looking up. He is not showing any teeth, whereas in the old 80s one, I remember his teeth shows on this side, kind of like how Leo's shows on that side now. So yeah, that's Mikey. His weapon storage, so he's got these 2 holes so he could slide in his pair of nunchucks. So that's very good weapon storage. They all have the exact articulations, others short bandana. And last but not least, my personal favorite as a kid, Donatello. Donatello, I kind of related to him because, well, not because I was a smart guy, but he's a smart guy in the group, but I relate to him more because when I was a kid, I always carried around a stick, and he's the staff guy, the bow guy. So this is his bow up close. Like Leo, he's got this sash going along here, and he can store his weapon back here. So Donnie, back in the day, his expression in the 80s version looked more like Raph's. Both his teeth were showing on this side, and there was nothing in the middle. Raph, you know, he had some teeth showing in the middle. And he was color brown. This Donnie seems to have the lightest shade of green. It's kind of close to Leo's, but a little bit lighter. So in terms of who's the lightest, he's the lightest green, followed by Leo, then Raph. Darkest shade of green is Mikey over here. So Donatello's got the D. I guess there have been some complaints on the Paint app in particular of Donnie, where he looks kind of like he has got a lazy eye going on there. Mine, kinda. This eye looks like it's kind of looking somewhere else. So I guess a lot of Donnies have this issue, but you know, I'm cool with it. But he's got the nice purple / lavender bandana. So that's him up close. So they look pretty cool. They're pretty posable. Next, I'm going to show you guys the other accessories they come with, the final accessories they come with. Once I just bring them out of the packaging over here. Each one of them comes with a pretty cool sewer manhole cover. So there's Raphael. It's the same thing. The words are just the names are just different. Leonardo, Michelangelo, Donatello. And let me just put these guys aside. Let's take Raphael's example. You can plug them in. So there's this little hole over there. There's a peg. There's a hole in his foot. Plug it in. Helps you pose and stand them. So if you want Raph to sort of practice his martial arts, you could kind of pose him like this. Kind of practicing his little roundhouse high kicks over there. So yeah, that helps you get them to do more poses. If you want to see how the hands look holding the weapons, the hands can grip the weapons pretty good. So you could get them to do some pretty cool poses with their weapons. Over there. So you could kind of pretend Donnie's sort of twirling around his staff. So you could get them to do a nice lot of poses. Leo, I like to kind of pose him with him holding the sword. Kind of a one hand, holding a sword in one hand. So you could get them, they could do some pretty decent poses for that. And the manhole covers are a good way to help them hold their poses, or to help stand them up. Although they could stand in their own power, it's pretty cool to have the manholes to help them up. So yeah, They're quite posable. So I'd like to get Mikey to kind of do a nunchuck pose, but no, he can't really reach into it, but you could get the picture over here. So there they are. So overall, these are pretty nice figures. They're around 6 inches tall. They're a lot bulkier than Marvel Legends, but they're about the same height. They look like mascots when they're with Marvel Legends figures. But you know, they are chunky, but they look like mascots. So these were one of my favorite. I was lucky to have completed this Ninja Turtles. I'm a big Ninja Turtle fan. These were ones made by Playmates. In my other videos, I got the minis as a kid, so I was able to get these nice, highly posable Playmates ones as an adult. So, as mentioned, these are some of my favorite toys and collectibles. I actually still sort of play with them, though I also like posing them. But there they are, my 4 Ninja Turtles. Quick rundown of the Turtles. This is Donatello. In all continuities of Ninja Turtles, this guy is usually the smart one. So in all continuities, he is the smart one, and his weapon is the staff. Up next is Michelangelo, Nunchucks guy. In all variations of Ninja Turtles, all versions, he is usually the party-loving, fun-loving. He's the fun one. He's like the youngest and the most fun to hang out with. So he's the Nunchucks guy. He says cowabunga in the original one. Pizza lover. They all love pizza, but this guy in particular loves pizza. Like in the old shows, he used to make his own concoctions of weird pizza, but he loves pizza. And there he is, Michelangelo. Here's Raphael. You know, as the original cartoon went, Raphael is cool but rude. I remember this guy being voiced by the same guy who voiced Mighty Max, Rob Paulson. So this guy's depending on the continuity, this guy is either the funny guy or the angsty, angry guy. The hothead, the Wolverine of the group, or the wisecracker of the group. So here he is, Raphael, with his sai. And last but not least, Splinter's star pupil. This is their leader. So if Raphael's like Wolverine, Leonardo is kind of like Cyclops. He's the responsible, dutiful one who, serious, trains a lot, follows Splinter's orders, always listens to Splinter, strategizes. So this guy is the responsible leader of the group. He is like Cyclops, and he is also in blue. So yeah. So that's Leonardo, and he has the katana. He has a pair of them, though I prefer to pose him carrying one. So there he is, Leonardo. Leonardo leads. So my final thoughts are they are very nice figures. They're posable and they look good. So Ninja Turtles was my favorite cartoons growing up. I used to watch it as a kid. I liked all the seasons except for the last one where they were fighting Lord Dreg and they were mutating into monsters. I kind of didn't like that one so much, but I still watched it. I liked the earlier ones better when they were just having fun and with Bebop and Rocksteady and Shredder. It was kind of like action comedy and it was one of my favorite shows. I kept watching it over and over, including reruns. And these guys are pretty good representations of that show that I cherished so much as a kid. So these Playmates figures were from 2012 and they are pretty good. So I think they're not so hard to find right now. You can still find them over at, sometimes I see them at Facebook Marketplace, where I'm from, and in eBay. So overall, I think they're good figures. I just wish they made a Playmates April. I'm not sure if they did. Maybe they did. I wish they made a Playmates April O'Neil. And I think there's a limited edition Shredder. There is Bebop and Rocksteady. I got those guys too, which I'll review in another video. But I kind of wish they made April O'Neil up. But I'm not sure if there is any. I don't think there is. But that'd be cool if they had an April O'Neil. But someday I'm kind of thinking of getting the NECA Shredder. I think he'd go well with these guys. So, that's all. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you later.